Y'all, it's starting to look like Candace Owens might not be as wild as people thought, because Jaguar Wright just came out and said something that lines up with what Candace has been saying this whole time. And you know, when Jaguar Wright speaks, she doesn't hold back. She straight up backed up Candace's claims about how Charlie Kirk's death doesn't add up. And she's even hinting that she's ready to start naming names of people who might have been behind it. Now, let's take it back a little bit. Candace Owens has been the loudest voice saying that something fishy went down with Charlie's passing. She has been calling it out, saying this wasn't just some random act. According to her, there's a massive cover-up happening, and the feds might know a lot more than they're letting on. And if you've been following her, you know she's been tweeting and posting non-stop, demanding transparency. One of the first things Candace pointed out was how fast the FBI jumped in and took the case away from local police. As soon as word got out about Charlie, the FBI made a statement saying they had full resources, special agents, and intelligence teams all working on it. Now, on the surface, this sounded normal, right? Charlie was a public figure connected to people in power, so most folks thought the FBI stepping in was no big deal, but Candace wasn't buying it. She tweeted that if the feds really wanted to solve this case, they would have released all the pictures and videos right away. She even said the internet would have solved it in minutes if they had put everything out there. Instead, she believes the FBI never actually wanted to solve it at all. She went as far as accusing them of a huge cover-up, saying there are other people involved and the truth is being kept from us. And then Candace dropped an even bigger claim. She said that just weeks before Charlie's death, he had gotten into some serious problems with certain billionaires. These weren't just any billionaires, these were people he had taken money from. According to her, they started threatening him over things he was speaking out about. She said Charlie was under heavy pressure, especially in the 2 weeks leading up to his passing. Candace didn't stop there, y'all. She went even harder, saying the FBI wasn't just slow, but actually shady. She started pointing out that there were whispers about Discord chat rooms being involved, the kind that sometimes pop up in school shooting stories. She even retweeted a post that claimed the FBI was already inside those servers, and that's why the chats were wiped clean before anyone could see the truth. Basically, she believes the feds scrubbed the evidence so the public wouldn't know who was really pulling the strings. And while people were calling her an attention seeker and even a conspiracy theorist, Candace wasn't backing down. She doubled down by saying that the FBI might be working hand in hand with the very billionaires who had been threatening Charlie. To her, it looked like the government was protecting the same people who wanted Charlie gone. That's a heavy accusation, but she kept pressing forward. Then came the moment that had everybody talking. Candace skipped Charlie's memorial service. Fans were shocked because people expected her to show up, but she explained why she didn't. She admitted she was scared for her life. She said that going to a public event organized by the feds, while she was out here attacking the feds, just didn't feel safe. She even said folks online were trying to push her into going by making it look like she needed to prove something. But Candace wasn't taking the bait. Instead, she stayed away and said she'd honor Charlie in her own way, on her own terms. But that wasn't all. Questions about the suspect started to rise too, and this part really shook people. The suspect's grandmother came forward, and what she said made the story even stranger. She swore up and down that her grandson had never even touched a gun. She said he didn't hunt, didn't own firearms, and wasn't the type to be violent at all. According to her, there was just no way he could have pulled something like this off. And this wasn't just a random comment. This was a grandmother who had watched him grow up, saying there was no possible way he could have done what the feds were accusing him of. Then things got even more suspicious. The feds leaked some text messages that were supposedly between the suspect and his roommate, but people weren't buying it. These texts looked way too convenient, almost like they were written to fit the FBI's storyline. In them, the suspect was basically confessing to everything, saying he unalived Charlie, bragging about engraving bullets, and even pointing out exactly where he left his weapon. Instead of clearing things up, those texts made people even more skeptical. Fans online started saying it looked staged, like someone wanted to make the evidence too perfect. That's when Jaguar Wright jumped into the conversation. On her own podcast, she backed up Candace, saying straight up that the FBI was hiding important details. She argued that the secrecy wasn't about protecting the investigation, but about covering for powerful people who might have been involved. Jaguar even pointed out strange things that didn't add up, like talk about bulletproof vests and different suspects being mentioned before the story suddenly switched to the one guy they pinned everything on. She made it clear she felt like pieces of the puzzle were being swapped around to fit a script. Jaguar also brought on a guest, and that's where it got even more intense. The guest brought up how the weapon seemed to have been dismantled, and how the suspect was said to have jumped off a roof without the gun even being there. None of it made sense. Piece by piece, thread by thread, they laid out all the weird details that didn't pass the smell test. More and more people started to agree that something was off. The real question everyone is asking now is, if the feds are really protecting billionaires like Candace and Jaguar claim, then just how far are they willing to go to keep the truth buried? Stay glued, like, share, and subscribe for more shocking revelation.